Right. So my name is Nikolai Wise. I worked for WNC Broadband in the summer of 2021, where I was hired to assist them with kind of making a bridge point as they were transitioning focus. And I was hired because I have a background in working in state and local politics, as well as local nonprofit communications. And WNC Broadband works a lot with government agencies, whether that's the uh, regional governing agency, which is Land of Sky, which administers a number of counties in North Carolina. So I specifically assisted them with the digital inclusion plan, which was the plan that they would provide to different stakeholders that details how they're going to increase. Well, first of all, saying what the gaps are and saying what different communities need specifically to fill those gaps and why they haven't been filled yet. That came from me going through it and picking things out, picking tone, picking the way that things are framed, picking out implications. And I did that by having to figure out, okay, what is the industry standard? What are things that other plans include that we don't include? Who isn't being spoken about in here and why? And how are they being spoken about? And that involved me reading a bunch of these plans. I'm talking hundreds of pages of just me speed skimming different digital inclusion plans, whether that was from LA County, the city of Atlanta, Louisville, Kentucky, everywhere you can imagine. So that was a big project, as well as one of my first projects as well is I got an assignment from the leader of the organization because the Congressman Madison Cawthorn had introduced a bill that was related to broadband. Had to do with, it was very trade specific, but the short of it is that essentially potentially allowing larger network providers to sell portions of their spectrum rights to other providers to potentially fill gaps in coverage. I also assisted with meeting with stakeholders. I think that professionally, one of my favorite experiences of it, it was technically my first job out of college. I also like my title was intern / research assistant, and I did some research for them, obviously about the digital inclusion and such, but it was really nice to finally get to use my skills and get a preview of how I'm going to apply them in my practice of being a professional. And I think that that was one of the biggest things that I took away, as well as what I consider a decently working knowledge about how broadband works and what the different processes are, and of course my own opinions on how to lead to more infrastructure. But it's a great org, and I really enjoyed working for them.